with someone you love, it's not this straightforward. If a stranger did this, as it was pointed out to me, if a stranger did this, it would be.
Deadline Hero Nation podcast, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom producer Peter Safran was asked whether the social media campaign by Johnny Depp fans for Amber Heard's removal from the DC sequel ever had an influence on the production and their casting decisions. Amber Heard reacts to the court stopped listening to her. "I don't think we're ever going to react to. Honestly, pure fun pressure," said Safran, whose James Gunn The Suicide Squad movie hits theaters and HBO Max on August 6. "You gotta do what's best for the movie," continued Safran. "We felt that if it's James Wan and Jason Momoa, it should be Amber Heard. That's really what it was. One is not unaware of what is going on in the Twitterverse. But that doesn't mean you have to react to it or take it as gospel or accede to their wishes," said Safran. "You have to do what's right for the film, and that's really where we landed on it." On June 28, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, filmmaker James Wan announced on Instagram that production was underway on the sequel to the record $1.1 billion grossing top DC movie of all time. This reignited the Justice for Johnny Depp crew on Twitter again. The call for Heard's dismissal from Aquaman 2 by Depp fans began after the formerly married duo lobbed explosive accusations of domestic violence at one another in the Pirates of the Caribbean star's UK libel trial against the Sun. The court dismissed Depp's claims, ruling in favor of the Sun's allegations against the actor. Following the Sun verdict, Warner Bros. Axed Depp from the third Fantastic Beasts movie, with Mads Mikkelsen taking over the role of Dark Wizard Gellert Grindelwald. In a November interview with EW, Heard addressed the protests against her by Depp fans saying, "Paid rumors and paid campaigns on social media don't dictate casting decisions because they have no basis in reality. Only the fans actually made Aquaman and Aquaman 2 happen. I'm excited to get started next year." The former Rum Diary co-stars and married couple are embroiled in further legal disputes on the side of the Atlantic in a $50 million defamation suit launched by Depp in 2019. Heard, who threw back at her ex-husband with a $100 million countersuit, and Depp are scheduled to go to trial next April. It has been a tumultuous day in the superhero and sci-fi space. We've seen a Black Widow lawsuit from Scarlett Johansson, a Doctor Who shakeup, and the UK premiere last night of Warner Bros. The Suicide Squad, all of which we talk about on this week's podcast. We also have producer Peter Safran on how he worked with James Gunn to bring his zany, Dirty Dozen-inspired vision for the Suicide Squad to life. How long will Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow breach of contract lawsuit with Disney drag out? As Dominic and I discussed today, it's going to be a very long road given Disney's history of lawyering up. Should Johansson prevail in her efforts to garner additional compensation for Disney's dynamic window experiment with Marvel movie, reports have it that she's been burned more than $50 million. It will truly be a game changer in an industry that's obsessed with a streaming theatrical day-and-date model. Safran provides with 2 cents on how Warner Bros. Pivoted during the pandemic with a big-screen HBO Max release of Suicide Squad. On a lighter note, I didn't believe Dominic when he told me that Idris Elba moonlighted as a DJ, but Safran illuminates how the SAG-winning actor actually made time during the production of Suicide Squad to spin records. Safran also tells us how he hooked Gunn for the DC sequel after the Guardians of the Galaxy filmmaker was briefly sidelined by Disney due to old Twitter jokes. He describes the director's excitement about a John Cena-led spin-off HBO Max series Peacemaker, how he's mapping out the DC universe with Shazam, Fury of Gods, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Speaking of Aquaman, Safran relates the reasons filmmakers are stuck with star Amber Heard despite a social media campaign by Johnny Depp fans to remove her from the sequel. In addition, Dominic and I sort through the future of the BBC's Doctor Who franchise without Jodie Whittaker and showrunner Chris Chibnall. The Time Lord will live on. The court battles between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are far from over, but the former couple appears to have reached a significant point in that battle following the decision by a UK court to stop the appeal by Depp's side following a ruling against him and his libel case against the Sun. Amber Heard's side has mostly and understandably only spoken through attorneys in response to the ruling, but Heard herself has now made a sort of statement via her Instagram feed through the use of 2 images of her wearing the same dress. The 2 pictures were taken 4 years apart but show Amber Heard wearing the same clothes in 2 very significant moments. The first, from 2016, show Heard on a day when she got a restraining order against Johnny Depp. The second picture, taken last summer, shows Heard wearing the same dress when she went to testify against Depp in the libel case that just ended when Depp's appeal was denied. While Johnny Depp's libel case was not against Amber Heard directly, the case largely hinged on her testimony. Depp has sued the UK paper The Sun over it referring to him as a wife-beater, and so Heard claims of abuse at the hands of Depp were at the center of it all. In the end, the judge found in favor of The Sun largely because he found Heard's testimony to be substantially true. It makes the day she testified in that trial a significant day, and that's what Amber Heard is clearly referencing with these 2 pictures, drawing a parallel between these 2 days she spent in court regarding Depp. While the judge initially ruled against Johnny Depp because he found Amber Heard to be truthful, the appeal was based on a claim that she lied. Depp's legal team argued that the actress had not donated her $7 million divorce settlement, which she claimed he had done, and thus, in telling this one apparent lie, the rest of her testimony was in question. The court hearing the appeal did not find that the statement had a significant impact on the decision, though it did not make a claim as to the statement's truthfulness. While this chapter in the Johnny Depp vs. Amber Heard legal battle is over, both sides are now likely getting ready for the next phase. Johnny Depp's lawsuit for defamation against Heard is currently set to begin proceedings in early 2022. Heard has also filed a countersuit for defamation against Depp. The fact that the defamation cases won't be heard until next year. They've been delayed several times due to the pandemic means that we might get something of a lull in this ongoing legal battle. However, even with extra time, it seems unlikely these 2 sides will settle their differences out of court. There hasn't been as much forward momentum on the upcoming Johnny Depp and Amber Heard suit and countersuit in recent weeks, though there have been moves made by both actors' legal terms. While we wait for various people involved to be deposed, one new piece of information that has seemingly come down the pipeline is a new report that indicates Elon Musk may be roped back into the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard court drama.